Okay, so here we are in week 5. We're doing the terrain fracture. I'm starting with the nuke kind of explosion thing that we did here. We're going to be using the house, the fracture of the house later on. So I might as well recycle that. And I'm going to, so just keep all of that. You could just kind of copy this this cache along to a new project, but might as well keep them together. All right, and then I'll just delete up to here. Think so. Keep those blasts because we had that problem piece there. Okay, and then I'll save this. So I don't know why that was hidden there. Save as. We got the 2 in there. Reverse gravity nuke. We should call this. Should probably name the project like House Destruction Projects or something like that. But I don't want to change the name now in case I don't know some kind of roots get messed up. So we'll just leave it. So this will be terrain. Version 1. Okay, and we need to start making this right now. I'm going to hide that. Just another geometry node and call this terrain. Dive inside. So we'll be starting with a grid here. Oh, what am I doing? Press P. And I want to make the grid very big. So a size of 60 by 60 meters. Okay, so again, thinking about that real world scale, right? 60 by 60 meters is very big, but we want that sense of weight and scale in our final simulation, and this is a big part of it. Instead of making it, you know, small, like 10 by 10 meters, and then kind of trying to tweak gravity and the drag and everything, just make it big, as big as it should be, right? So we want lots of detail here. I'm going to do 200 by 200 rows. And I'm actually going to move it over a bit. It's just, I don't know, I think while I was playing around with this project, I, you know, kind of moved the camera over or something. I don't know. You could keep it in the middle, but it's just how what I ended up with. So we're going to start with the attribute VOP. We're going to add some noise to this. You could do this with a mountain, but we're going to look at doing it with a VOP here. So let's call it, well, let's call it surface because that's what we're doing. Dive inside, and we need some noise, right? So I'm going to use the turbulence noise. We want this to be a 3D noise as we're affecting the position. We're going to take the position as an input, as a source for this noise, and we're going to add the result of that to our current position. Take your current position, add the noise, stick it out, and then we got some change in position, right? And you can see we got all axis going. I think if I change this to 1D, yeah, see it kind of points over in one direction in a weird way. And I don't want that. So let's give ourselves some more frequency, go down to 0.1, like that. 0.1, sorry, I wanted a bit bigger. There we go. Amplitude, let's push it up a bit. Get a bit more scale. Camera's going to be some, you know, like something like that later on. The more resolution we have on this, the better. You know, if I push this up to like, you'll see you'll get some really nice little details there. You know, go as high as you can. I stuck with 200. And then we can play around with the offsets as well to kind of move this around if necessary. Cool. So back out here. Let's drop a null here because this we'll need this. You know, we'll need a few different bits of information. We'll need this point for, you know, for something later on before we extrude this out. So I'm going to drop an extrude volume, which is, it's just a poly extrude, but gives you kind of like a neat, box. See, it's kind of like nice and straight. Could just use a poly extrude really and just have that surface there, but I don't know, I just like to use these. They're nice and tidy and organized kind of thing. So just want to go down, -50 is enough for us here. And I got to have another null here. So out surface volume. All right, and then what we're going to do is boolean out of this the part that we want to fracture, right? So let's start, well, we'll make the boolean. We just want the normal boolean, yeah, because we're going to do a couple of them. And then a sphere. Right, and the sphere will go in there. The sphere will be polygons. Will be much bigger. Put like 50. With lots of subdivision. Let's see, so doing something really weird at the moment. Don't know what's happening there. Let me just check. Try just moving the sphere around a bit. Oh, I see. It's because I'm grabbing the second output there. There we go. Okay, let's try that now. We should get, there we go. That's what I want. So yeah, we're getting the intersection there of the sphere and the and that ground, right? So yeah, we're going to want to add some noise to this. So I'm going to drop a mountain. Here, let's visualize up here, because that will start running a bit slower. Make sure we have the sphere in the right place. That looks fine, I think. And then, so the first mountain again, just as typical, big noise first, with a bit less roughness to start off with, and then we'll add our detail later on. Well, now, in fact. And then the second one with more roughness, but a smaller scale. Okay, nice big rocky kind of feature. And then the position of that was, what do we have, 20 and 40. To kind of clip away that edge. Great, so this again here is an important step. You know, we'll need another null here because this is like the bounds of our simulation. So we'll call this bounds. Okay, and then we need that, and then we need the opposite of that as well. So we change this to subtract, I think. Yeah. And this will be like a collider, right? So this will be simulated, and this will be the collider for that simulation. So another null down here that can just go there, and this will be out col. Okay, so we got a start. We got our collider and our geometry, which is going to be fractured up multiple times into nice detailed small pieces over the next few videos.